What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel, and today I'll be teaching you how to generate a digital elevation model and contours using ArcMap software. So you're going to use Google Earth Pro to generate coordinates and elevation, and then you're going to convert the coordinates that you will be generate into GPS format or GPX. Then now we will be using the ArcMap perform the generation of contours and the digital elevation model. So I'm just going to open the Google Earth Pro. I'm going to search for area of interest. So this is the area that I want to generate the digital elevation model, this particular region, and also the contours. So what you need to do, you need to identify the place that will temporarily store your data. After digitizing, we're actually going to digitize. Then we'll export the data to our desktop. So what we need to do is I'm going to store the data in this temporary place. So I'm just going to right click and add. And what we're going to add is path. We're going to create path. I'm going to give it a name as spotlights. And just going to edit the color. Then I'm going to give it red. And don't need to close or click OK. We'll do that after digitizing. So now we start to digitize, and we're going to generate as many points as possible. So we need as many points as possible, but for the purpose of this tutorial, just going to generate a few of time. So I guess those are enough. After digitizing, you're just going to click OK. Now here we have our spotlights. So in order to export these spotlights in our computer, just right click and you save place as. So click on that, and I'm going to save it in the desktop. Just right click and create a new folder. I'm just going to call it contours. That. Then this is the place that I'm going to store the points. But again, you need to change the format from KMZ to KML. Make sure that you change that extension to you save the type as KML. That's very important. Click OK. So from this point, we don't need Google Earth Pro. So you're just going to close it down. You're going to save it. Now I have my KML in this particular folder. So what we need to do, we are going to convert this data into GPS format or GPX format so that we can use that particular data in a ArcMap. So what I need to do, in the meantime, let me open the ArcMap. Then just going to open my browser. So there is two ways you can convert that particular data. First one, you can download a software called TCX converter. So you can just click on the first link, then you can download and install. It's very simple to install, and it's also very direct to convert your data using the TCX. But just going to use the GPS visualizer. It's a website. So what I need to do is just to type in the URL www.gps visualizer stroke www.gpsvisualizer.com stroke elevation, like that. Then you choose the first link, which I believe is the official link to this particular website, and then you upload your file. Ours is Spotlights. So just going to upload, and then now click on the output. Make sure that you choose the GPX file and not the plain text. You can also choose the plain text and then you convert, but will have a lot of work to do. But just stick to GPX file, and then you click on this particular button, convert and add elevation. Click on that, and it will take you on the download page. So we'll be provided with this download link. So just need to click on it in order to, and the download is complete. So I'm just going to open where it has been downloaded, and I'm just going to cut, and then since I don't need this particular website, just going to close it down, and just going to copy to paste our data in our working folder. So now we just need to open ArcMap, and then we now need to convert this GPX into a shapefile or a feature class. So what we need to do is just to open ArcMap, and then you open the Arc Toolbox. Click on Arc Toolbox, and give it time to open. So in the toolbox, there's a tool called conversion tool. So what we need to do is to look for conversion tools and expand, and then choose you're going to convert from GPS. So because it's GPX format, you're going to convert it from GPX to feature. So you're going to double click on that, and the input, okay, the input is the file that we just downloaded from the GPS visualizer website. So this in the desktop, this particular folder, just add it, and give the output a name. Just going to select the place that I want to save, and I'm just going to save it in the same folder and be giving it a name, points, or just spotlights, like that. Save. Give it some time to generate points into shapefile so that we can start working on it. So before we generate contours, first of all, you need to create surface. That's a digital elevation model. And so our process is complete. We have our points. And if you open the attribute table, just right click on spotlight, click attribute table. Now you can clearly see that we have elevation, and the elevation is what we needed, what is important here to create a surface. So you can see our data ranges between 1480 meters to around 1540 meters above sea level. This is a high altitude area, and so the first thing you need to do is to create surface, and we're going to use the interpolation. So just open Act Toolbox again and look for Spatial Analyst Toolbox, Spatial Analyst Tools, and we want to interpolate these points in order to generate the DEM. So just double click on interpolation on IDW. The input point features is spotlights, and you make sure that you change the Z value or the elevation value field. If you open the attribute table, Z values or elevation are in the elevation field, so we need to take note of that. Otherwise, we'll end up with a uniform field, uniform surface. Choose elevation, and again select where you want to store your surface, and give it a name. So I'm just going to give it DEM for digital elevation model underscore IDW, like that. Click save and leave everything else as default. Okay, yeah, so leave everything as default and click OK. And now we have generated our points, our surface. This is our digital elevation model, and now it's time to create contours. So in order to create contours, I open again Toolbox and go to Spatial Analyst tool and look for surface to expand on surface. And what we want is contours. So our input raster is this particular DEM or digital elevation model that we have just generated. So let me do some math here. Our highest point is 1535, and lowest value is 14 79. So it's a difference of 56. So we can do the interval of about 5 meters or 2. Let's just do 2 meters interval. So first of all, we need to add the raster, that is DEM, and then we choose where we want to store contours. First, I'm just going to give it a name first, like that, and the interval said I want to give it an interval of 2, and I think you can leave everything else as default, and just click OK. Yeah, now we have our contour lines. You can just choose to change a few things like color, give it cocoa brown or leather brown. Spot heights, you can also change the color, though you don't need those points anymore. Then what is remaining is to just label contours. So you just right click on your contours and go to properties and choose label the labels tab, then select label features in this layer. Make sure that it is selected. The label field is contours. Choose contours. If you're comfortable with the font size and the font family, but for me, I'm just going to change the font color. Then the other options, go to other options and choose placement properties. We don't need it above the lines, we need it on the line. Then the orientation, I think curved will be okay, and place one label per feature, then click OK. Label style, that just go to symbols and edit the symbols. Go to edit symbol, and we want mask. Choose this mask tab and choose halo. Click OK. Click OK. Apply. Click OK. Now you check this. Now you have your points. You have your contours. So this is basically how you can create contours using Google Earth. You can just generate contour lines from Google Earth, and the tool that is appropriate to use for me is ArcMap. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, share, like this video. See you in the next tutorial.